Hi, Rosstafa here, and today we're having a look at a game called Guns of Icarus Online. This is a class-based airship battle game, and it's very steampunk influenced, as you can already see from the title screen. Just going to have a quick look at sort of what this is, the customization options here. You can have different kinds of ships, and when you become a captain of a team, your ship is used, so you can name it, you can change what guns it has, and each ship design has different attributes. Some are going to be faster, easier to manoeuvre than others, better armour, etc. So you just sort of need to try out whatever ship works best for you, which guns you prefer, and obviously different ships have got different guns in different places, so when you're piloting them you need to bear that in mind, because you're going to need to think, well, where am I going to need to steer to get the guns facing. You can also customise your character. I've bought a few things in the online shop, such as costumes and hats and goggles and whatnot. Each class gets its own tools which help its particular class. So for instance, the pilot gets things that help manoeuvrability and speed, and the engineer will get things that are able to give certain objects buffs and fix things faster, etc. But each class gets at least one tool from each loadout. So we're going to start off looking at the engineer. Now the engineer's basic job is just to keep the ship up in the air. So in this instance the engine was on fire, so I'm using a fire extinguisher to put that out. And now I'm going to fix it with a rubber mallet. The rubber mallet is sort of your basic tool that you're going to be using on everything. You also notice that the engineer has a spyglass. Every class has that, though it's mostly a pilot ability. When the little clock there you see turns red, it means that it's destroyed, and you need to basically keep hammering away at that until it turns yellow again. Then you'll get a timer, which means you can't fix it anymore until the timer runs out. So you need to click at it frantically until it fills up when it's red, and when it's yellow you just need to wait for it to finish up, and you can fix it a bit more. And you'll see the energy bar there where it's got the shield and then the health and then the armour as well. So the engineer has four tools. I've obviously mentioned the spyglass, fire extinguisher, the rubber mallet, and you've got another hammer as well, and that hammer is used to buff certain objects. So I'm not sure what particular buffs it does for each one. I think it might give more armour to the hull, speed to the engines, and damage to the guns, etc. But it's a limited time buff obviously, so once you've hit the object with your hammer it will have the buff, and once it runs out you need to do it again. Engineers can also go on guns, and they can also pilot like all the other classes, but if there are other people more suited to do that, you don't really want to do it so much, because you're just going to be spreading around too much, and if you're under fire then you're going to need to be on top of things like keeping everything not on fire, for instance, and fixed up. But that's easier said than done. As you can see here, we took quite a pounding and we went down. If you've got two engineers you can keep a ship up through a lot of punishment, but with one engineer it's kind of frantic. It forces the gunners then to run around and fix things as well, and if they're not on the guns then you're just trying to keep your ship up in the air while you're under fire, and you don't really get anywhere. So when your ship's at full health and you've just spawned, you can sort of look around and use your spyglass to mark targets. Once you zoom in, I think it's the left click button, if you press that over an enemy ship in the distance, it will mark them, and then they're easier to see for everyone else. So it's also good because at a distance it's quite hard to tell whether a ship is a good ship or an enemy ship, so marking them is absolutely vital. The pilot isn't going to get the chance to do that so much because they'll be steering the ship, but the gunners and the engineers should definitely mark people when they're not doing anything. So now we're going to have a look at some pilot gameplay. Now the pilot's basic job is, as you guessed, to steer the ship. They get certain buffs that help them do so, and they can select those back in the loadout menu. So you can get, I think they're like sort of good luck charms sort of things that might increase your speed and manoeuvrability and whatnot. The important thing to remember about being a pilot is how you steer the ship is going to depend on what ship it is. In this instance, a lot of the guns are mounted to the right, the left, sorry, so I'm going to want to keep enemy ships to my left. If they're on the right, that's where our weaker guns are, so we're going to have a lot more harder time putting them down. So if you're piloting and you're also the commander, your ship will be used, so you'll need to know, right, which side am I going to need to keep the enemy on? Are my strongest guns at the front? If so, I'll keep them head on. You can change your altitude, you can change direction obviously, and your speed. You'll see next to the wheel there's the sort of crank, I suppose, for the speed. You can obviously go at various degrees of speed forwards and backwards and then stop, so you're really going to want to stop when you're next to stop or slow down when you're next to an enemy craft, so that your gunners have a lot of time to just unload on them. Like in this instance, I'm going to slow right down here, and they're going to just load into them and shoot them. But if my hull starts getting a bit low, if everything starts getting a bit destroyed, that leaves us vulnerable, so you're going to want to speed up again and get out there and perhaps get into some of the cloud cover that's dotted all around the map, which is pretty good because even if they've marked you with their spy glasses, they won't be able to see you very well through it. So using that cloud cover, absolutely vital. In this instance, I'm just trying to negotiate and get around there, just give my engineers a bit of time to fix everything back up, but we are taking quite a pounding, so it's quite a fun class to play. It definitely helps if you had a headset, so you want to talk to your crew and tell them to fix certain things and they can talk to you. Now this is the gunner. As you can sort of assume, you shoot things. You have different guns all over the ship, which, you know, will be decided by whoever owns the ship. You know, whatever person is commander, that's their ship will be used. And then some guns are better than others, so you kind of get used to which ones are better. In this instance, we're going right down, which isn't good because obviously you're going to hit things and it puts you well out of range or anything. We're not in a good position at this point. So it's important that the pilot keeps the ships in front of you to where your guns are, because if you're facing, you know, away from them, for instance, I don't think there's many ships that have guns in the back, so it's not a great help. But yeah, this game's pretty good. It's got great music, the effects are great, the gameplay's great. It's a nice sort of refreshing sort of game. Not many around like, I know there's another one out there, Air Buccaneers or something. I think they finally get a kill on this bit. But yeah, it's pretty good. It's on Steam now. It's well worth checking out. I believe they're planning to add a campaign version at some point. So yeah, if you like it, then go on Steam, check it out. If you want to see any more videos of this, just comment section. So yeah, cheers.